Board of Aldermen meeting for March the 18th, 2026. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call roll, please.
Alderman Cruzen?
Here.
Alderman Stokel?
Here.
Alderman Crawford?
Present.
Mayor Fortune?
Here. And the agenda's been posted for tonight's meeting. There are no amendments to that agenda. I'll take a motion to approve.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. Any citizen comments at this time? And please state your name.
Name is Roger Rohal, live at 1540 Autumn Leaf Drive in the Burnhamwood condominiums. And I'm a board member of the Burnhamwood Condominium Association. And we recently received a letter from the city of Twin Oaks regarding tree debris condo area near Crescent Road. If anybody would like a copy of that, I do have copies of it with me. So what I was tasked to doing by the Burnham board was to request the Board of Aldermen change in the city of Twin Oaks codes due to that recently received notice. The letter that we received, the second sentence of the first paragraph, and I quote, states, under city code, trees located within the right-of-way adjacent to private property are the responsibility of the private property owner. There was a tree that fell on Crescent Road, and it is on city property, and we have been advised that the condominiums are to remove the tree. So what I have been tasked to do is to ask the board, and I know it won't change what we owe and what we're supposed to do right now, but to change the city code going forward so that the section 216 be amended to remove the requirement that street trees be maintained by the adjoining property owner.
What was that change you wanted again?
I'm sorry?
Repeat what you just said.
Sure. Requesting that the section 216
Right.
be amended going forward to remove the requirement that street trees, as defined in the
To remove that. Okay, I got it.
remove the requirement they be maintained by the adjoining property owner.
Okay. We'll take that under advisement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizen comments? Nope. Okay. By the way, thank you, Roger, for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We have a consent agenda, regular board meeting minutes from March the 4th, special meeting minutes from March the 4th, bills list February 28th to March 13th, and a credit card summary for February. Any questions or discussions on any of
Do
those?
you want to talk about this here, or is that there?
You can, yeah. I mean, I think that's an
Yeah,
appropriate
we-
time to bring it up if you
Yeah.
want to. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the bills list, the list of checks, I have signed every one of these checks except for another wild goose chase. I'm not comfortable signing that check because every time I go into the park, there's up to 6 geese. So I don't know what we're paying for.
Jake, did you have some comments about the performance of the vendor or whatever?
Yeah, we've seen him drive down multiple times. Like, we'll be up at the Bell House, we'll see the little car drive down, literally no time, but to drive down and come back up. We've seen that many times in the past, just like 2 weeks. We've been really kind of noticing it. I know it was like cold out there the other day, but I know he just drove down and came right back out. Because we were down there earlier that day, saw 4 geese down there. And Isaiah said he saw the guy leave, and then he's like, "You want me to go down there?" I was like, "Yeah, please go down there and check." He went down there, all 4 geese still down there. So I don't know, give him the benefit of the doubt, but I think at this point it's just, I don't think you're getting out at all. Looking,
Yeah,
you know,
if that was shortly after I talked to you, there were 6. There were 4 in the lake,
yeah,
and then 1 in the upper lake off to the, or 2
yeah.
off to the side. So,
That was actually on a separate day even.
Mhm.
But
oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think Jake has noted several times to me that he has noticed that it's been very quick visits, if anything, and there have been geese present besides when you've even noticed it as well.
How often does he come?
That's once a day,
Every day.
and I think we're, 160 a week.
Mhm. Correct.
What time does he usually come?
I would say anywhere from like 8:30 to 11. It's just kind of anytime within that time frame. He's got, I think, 4 or 5 different places that he kind of hits daily. So.
It seems like he's changed his operation. In other words, when we first hired this guy, he had dogs.
Mhm.
That went away.
I think I saw it.
Then he went to motorized boats or something that scared the geese.
He had both. He sells a boat.
He still has. How does he have time to put those boats in the water if Jake sees him drive down and drive right back out?
He's using a green laser now.
Yes.
Doesn't seem to work, obviously.
Well, they fly away, but they make a circle and come right back. By that time, he's gone.
Hmm.
You know, the laser does make them fly, but they don't go very far, so
They probably figured it out.
I think so.
Have we tried to sit down and talk with this guy?
Not yet. Mm-mm.
Okay,
We can.
I think we hold the check, my recommendation. We hold the check and we have him come in and we have a meeting about this.
We can do that.
Absolutely.
We need a motion to do that.
Well, I would say the motion will be to approve the consent agenda except for,
Except for that check.
yeah, on the bills list. Right.
Okay,
I move we accept the consent agenda with the exception of the another wild goose chase bill.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I want to be at the
Okay. No problem. We'll come on.
Okay, report of committees. Finance report, Dave?
Good evening. So the financial report for the 2 months ending February 28, 2026 is before you. The balance sheet shows total assets in all the funds combined of about $3 million, $3 million. 2.3 million of that is in cash. We have fund balances totaling about 2.6 million. Look on page 2 is the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance. And we received $391,000 in revenues, receipts for the first 2 months, and spent $213,940. Revenues are down 11% in total, and that's because sales tax is down 21% from the prior year. So if we go to the next page, page 3, you can see this wild fluctuation that we experience quite often with the January and February receipts, which will actually be back, recorded back in as an asset receivable in the 2025 statements. But as far as a flow of funds, comparing the first 2 months with the first 2 months of last year, sales tax is down quite a bit. And that is because of the ongoing issue of distribution from the state of the returns that are filed. And you know, I know this is something you're all aware of, but we get a cup, maybe two of the Schnucks sales taxes in 1 month and then 0 in the next. And you know, if there's a 2-month period where we get 3 versus 2, that's what happens with these fluctuations. And it affects all of those sales taxes except for the county public safety tax and the use taxes really aren't affected by that. So we will be up in March compared to last year, March. So this will catch up. It's just a timing issue. So back on page 2, other revenues are pretty much, we did get a lot more in property tax, which also is going to be booked into last year in the first 2 months because it was a lot more held back last year than this year. Other taxes are pretty much in line. The intergovernmental taxes are up. That's the county's property tax they share. A big portion of that is the county's property tax for road maintenance that they share with the municipalities based on assessed valuation. So we got a lot more of that this year than compared to the year before. As far as expenditures go, we spent about 1.3% less than the previous year. Noteworthy there is parks expenditures are up quite a bit, as a percentage basis, and that's because we have used the part-time maintenance person a lot more. He's gotten a lot more hours the first 2 months of this year compared to last year. The resident services is down considerably because we spent a lot less in snow removal this year than last year. So if you look at the fund balances I've highlighted with the beginning fund balances there, because we still haven't closed out entirely 2025 until the auditors come in and make whatever, then suggest any adjustments. I don't expect it to change a whole lot. There may be a payable or two that needs to be backed into last year. I don't believe it's going to be real significant numbers. We'll note we did make the debt service payment in February. The half of the total amount for the year is due. It's actually due in March. It's sent to the trustee in February. Part of that was principal. So now that debt, that long-term debt, was on this building. It stands at $777,000. Then if we go to the last page, as far as the budget, not a whole lot to say there. Things are going, there's nothing really to comment that we're doing any budgetary issues have surfaced. If everything goes as planned in the budget, we'll end the year with about 2.6 million in total fund balances. Any questions?
Nope. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, is there a park report?
Yeah, give that.
Okay,
For the park committee, we did review Chingo. Everybody had positive reviews with people commenting on the tasting cups. They all like that. And they all liked having the addition of food donations along with the monetary one. We were able to donate over $800 and 100 pounds of food. And that was from the games and from the registration, because anybody's registration went directly towards our donations in Circle of Concern. We're getting ready for the Easter egg hunt. That's going to be in just 2 weeks. So it is April 4th, so Easter is very early this year, but the eggs are all ready. Prizes are ready. We still need to get a bunny. That's the only thing that we're lacking in. We're going to,
You're interested?
we did have
Dave?
Santa.
There's a lot of finger pointing over there. You.
So we did, well, we do need a bunny, but we're going to get together, the committee's gonna get together on the Friday before to put together the arch and to decorate that, to have a spot for Easter bunny pictures and for a place for all the kids to know where the Easter bunny is.
Assuming we have a bunny.
They're gonna meet
Oh,
about
you're busy
8:30
today? Default.
to set out the eggs for our 10 o'clock
Default's our
Easter
city
egg hunt,
attorney.
which will be open in
Great.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Arbor Day is later on in the month, the 21st of April, it's a Tuesday. It's Valley Park School, 4th grade is gonna be coming down.
There'll be a lot of kids.
From the Missouri Department of Conservation is coming down to get to talk. Jake is looking into trees and where to plant them.
And it's our official 20th year in a row of being a tree city. So we're going to make it a bigger deal this year.
And then movie nights, May 15th, and we're going to be starting the movie around 8 o'clock. It's going to be Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and our committee wants to do fresh popcorn for the event. That about wraps it up.
Okay, thank you. No old business. New business, we have bill number 2603. Could you read that, please?
Sure. Bill number 2603, an ordinance adopting and enacting a new code of ordinances for the city of Twin Oaks, establishing the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, except as expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code of ordinances, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing when ordinance shall become effective.
Any discussions? Read a second time, please.
Sure. Bill number 2603, an ordinance adopting and enacting a new code of ordinances of the city of Twin Oaks and establishing the same, providing for repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, except as expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code of ordinances, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing when ordinance shall become effective.
Is there a motion to adopt Bill 2603?
Motion to adopt Bill 2603.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Alderman Cruzen,
Yes.
Alderman Stokel,
Yes.
Alderman Crawford,
Yes.
Okay, Bill 2603 will become ordinance 2603 by a vote of 3 yes, 1 absent. Bill number 2604, please.
Bill number 2604, an ordinance amending the Twin Oaks purchasing policy, chapter 145 of the Twin Oaks Municipal Code.
Okay, we are wanting to change this ordinance because when our prior administrator left and April assumed the position, there was a 12-month period where I had to almost approve everything. So we want to change it back to the dollar limit that we've always carried for our administration.
This is why I was confused the other night, because the mayor wasn't struck through in the copy we got. So it looked like they were changing it so that you could do this. I'm like,
Oh, yeah, sorry
Yeah.
if that was not
That's
clear.
all right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, just changing it back to what it was
Yeah.
prior to.
Would you read that again, please?
Sure. An ordinance amending the Twin Oaks purchasing policy, chapter 145 of the Twin Oaks Municipal Code.
I move that we adopt 26-04.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Alderman Cruzen,
Yes.
Alderman Stokel,
Yes.
Alderman Crawford.
Yes.
Okay, Bill 2604 becomes ordinance 2604. A vote of 3 yes and 1 absent. Okay, takes us to discussion items, fireworks plan for America 250.
All right, that's Richard.
Welcome, Richard.
Thank you.
Got some big plans for us?
Yeah, we're gonna do fireworks.
Yay.
Just some thoughts and stuff for it. I know we want to go all over red, white, and blue. We need to throw some other colors in there too. Some thoughts were like starting off with red, white, and blue, like comments and stuff. Just we're gonna shorten up the stuff that's low breaking and go more
Okay.
high, with a lot of stuff. And then like the finale, we'll do like a series of red effects, a series of white effects, a series of blue effects, and then like red, white, blue, and then the crescendo kind of thing at the end is what I was thinking, kind of as a punch at the end. The other thing is music selections. I know in previous years there's been like, I want to hear this, this, and this. If it's you have some thoughts on what you want to hear, or
I did mention to Richard that the board member who was very particular about the music is not on the board anymore, so I wasn't sure if any of you had strong feelings about it the same way. I told him I didn't think so, but
Something patriotic.
for sure.
Works best for you guys.
Pardon me?
I said whatever works
Okay.
best for you.
I mean, and we can get the soundtrack together, and I'll send it over to you guys to listen to
Yeah.
and say, yeah, that sounds good. And, it's nice to have a variety of music.
I agree.
There's still how did the FM transmitter stuff work? Did that work out? Did people like that up here? Or
I think people heard it. I did not get to test it myself,
Right,
but because we were busy doing other things. But I do think it's worthwhile
Okay.
to keep trying it because I
Yeah.
do think for those who are up here and
right, they
not
said-
that
oh,
close,
okay.
I think some people up here for sure took advantage of it. So
And
I
just
think that's
advertise
worthwhile.
that kind of thing too. To
Yes.
Make sure that everybody knows that's not in the valley there.
yes,
Then the other thing, the big thing is the rain date.
yeah, we want to talk about that. We're
Yeah.
in the same kind of
Same predicament we
Same
were
predicament
last
we were
year.
Last year.
I had a strange thought, and maybe this isn't going to work well, but since July 3rd is kind of the holiday, that's like the 4th, would you think about doing yours on the 2nd with a rain date of the 3rd?
Whoa.
And that's just kind of way outside the box. All your other stuff is already in
What day is the 3rd?
the 3rd is a Friday.
Friday.
And then that's like the official government holiday, I would say. I mean, I'm okay doing the 3rd, we're fine with that, just the rain date, because I already have shows on the 4th and I have shows on the 5th already scheduled because of the 4th being on Saturday.
Okay.
We could do a rain date as the 6th. that
Yeah, I was going to
Monday,
say that was the other alternative that
And
he
that's
had
real close
pitched.
to the 3rd, I mean, it's just. a
If
couple
we're
of days
comfortable
away.
having the rain date on the 6th,
On the Monday.
rather than
It's a-
waiting
it's a
till a
Monday?
full week later. Yeah, it's a Monday. And hope it doesn't rain. but-
Well,
How's that impact us? Oh, school's not in.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
school.
No school.
and I know you guys are doing something with the park, I didn't know when that construction or demolition or whatever is gonna happen.
We do plan on closing the parking area, but it's not going to commence immediately after,
Okay.
so we're
So we
fine.
have some wiggle
Yeah, we're fine to do that week or that Monday if
I think it'd be
everybody is
great.
comfortable with that. Monday.
Following Monday, yeah, I think
Oh,
that'd be
yeah,
great.
that's that right Monday.
Officer Weiner, you have
Sure.
do you have an input there?
On the rain date, I think we're gonna be in the same boat no matter
No matter when it is.
what, if we do it on.
At least we'll have all the comfort stations already be there, the
That's true.
portos, they'll all already be there.
True.
So long as we can arrange for security.
Yeah, that's always the question mark, you know.
Yeah, it would be like we've done in years past, that day before, kind of see what it's gonna be like. And-
Yeah.
And the first year that I think I did it back again for you guys, we had rain in the morning and it
Yeah.
went away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Praying to make that go away. That's the only thing we can't control is the weather. And if it's just misty, we can set up and shoot it in that, but if it's like, lightning and stuff like that,
Yeah,
that's,
right.
we can't touch it. Otherwise, that's the most dangerous part of the whole thing, so.
Okay.
Those are
6th.
my
So
suggestions,
we're-
lots of red, white, and blue, and we'll throw some various
Comfortable with the
colors that
6th,
we can-
Let's do the 6th.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, 6.
We get great feedback.
Do you want to talk a little bit about budget? Because I know you talked about there
I mean,
being an
because
increase.
We
and
had
then
talked about doing the drone stuff, and you guys
Yeah, we
So
nixed that,
if we
so-
go over the same budget that we had last year.
Yeah.
I think
We're good, okay.
there was, the tariffs is kind of affecting it about 9 to 10%, but we can work.
Yeah.
We can work with it. I think,
Okay.
I'll see what I have, it's gonna look a lot less than what you guys had last year, which I don't think it's gonna be pretty darn close. There's some things we can do with some more expensive things, we can use something that's a little bit less to get more of, and so.
I think
so we come up with it.
we've had traditionally about 22 minutes.
Right,
I think that extra 2 minutes, you start to lose people in that extra 2 minutes anyway.
yeah. I
Yeah,
know
we did
anything
talk
over-
about that,
yeah,
not going any
anything over, like,
longer.
25 minutes is just, people get bored.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to see.
So
like
I think
20
if it's 20 and it's high powered, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do that. Sounds good.
All right.
Any other questions?
We had kind of a significant delay to start last year.
We
You
had
know,
some
was that
issues.
like
We had some
electrical?
electronic issues.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was, because it's all electronic, one of the systems that controls 48 shots decided to not talk to me anymore. So I'm like, we didn't want to have that hole in the show.
Sure,
So we got it swapped out, and that's the only reason. we had the
Gotcha.
delay.
thank you.
Anything else?
Awesome.
Thank you,
Richard.
Richard.
Thanks for coming.
being here, yes.
Okay, City Hall Public Hours.
I did put this together just to kind of be helpful what we've had historically. So if you guys wanted some background information and some neighboring cities, kind of how they operate, but yeah. If anybody has any questions about any of that, I'm happy to answer. And I think-
Have you received any other complaints or comments about this other than what we received?
We have not, no. We have not.
Would the staff have an issue if somebody said, I can't make it there during your office
No.
hours? Could we set up something afterwards?
Yeah, certainly, and we have done that in the past. I mean, Russ and I have met with contractors outside of normal business hours. Paula has notarized things outside of our regular business hours. We do that pretty regularly because I'm generally here around 8 a.m., so I've met contractors early. Jake is here at 7 a.m., so we definitely have some flexibility there. And like I noted, the public hours of City Hall, and I think the board's all aware of this, but just, for public comment, does not reflect the working hours of the staff because we all obviously are here in the evenings, on weekends for events and things like that. So those two things are not in line necessarily. And we certainly are happy to set up appointments with people, and we already do. We can make that more publicly known if we need to, which is not an issue at all.
Yeah, I think that's all we,
Yeah, I think to stay consistent and accommodating is all you can do, and you're doing that, so.
I think if somebody is having trouble and we ask them to make an appointment, we'll go out of our way to try to
Sure.
meet with them.
As,
So,
as long as we have flexibility, I think that's all we need to talk about.
I think the original complaint stemmed basically from registering to run for election.
Yeah.
People that were working couldn't get here in time to pick up their packet or whatever.
Which they could have gotten at the place where they needed to drop the packet off.
True,
So.
Yeah.
It could have been a one-stop shop, I think.
true.
Okay,
Okay,
all right. We have review of site development code. Actually, what I want to review is single-family housing permit application process.
you want me to start your PowerPoint?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay.
Yeah. So we were kind of told that our process was way much longer than anybody else. So I decided to go out and to look at different municipalities and the process they use. And the process basically broke down into they did everything in-house, or they did some of it in-house and contracted out. This is a hybrid model, contracted out the mechanical engineering and plumbing to the county. And some did just the in-house zoning and sent everything else over to the county for permit and inspections. Okay, so next slide. The cities that I looked at, and this is a lot of information to go through, so I'm really going to just focus. Go back.
Sorry.
Go back. I'm
Ready.
just really going to focus on Manchester, because we also have an expert here from Manchester, just in case I got it wrong. But I did look at Manchester, Clarkson Valley, Winchester, Twin Oaks, Baldwin, Ellisville, Valley Park, Ferguson, De Pere, Town and Country, and Kirkwood in this study. Okay, and across all cities, every new single-family home requires a building permit application, construction plan sets, site plans with grading and drainage, compliance with adopted building codes, multiple inspections, and fire district review. All of us have to do that. The biggest differences that I found was whether the city performs its own plan review or outsources that to St. Louis County. And whether some cities require, in addition to that, architectural review boards. And I also looked at, I think we require 18 sets of
We do.
plans. I also
Correct.
looked at how many sets of plans do other cities require and what level of professional sealing is required, and whether zoning approval is a separate step. So just to kind of go over Twin Oaks' process, we complete permit form, we pay a fee, we submit they submit the architectural plans, they submit the site development plan, they receive zoning approval from us, and then they go to county with architectural plans, structural plans, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, site plan approved by Twin Oaks, energy compliance, soils report, and contractor licenses, and grading and erosion control. So that's the process. St. Louis County reviews all of that information. They request corrections if needed. They upload the revised plans. The person receives approval. They pay their fees, and a county building permit is issued. It is up to the builder to schedule their inspections for footing, foundation, framing, MEP, insulation, and final. The builder needs to correct their deficiencies. Twin Oaks verifies the zoning compliance, and final approvals and certificate of occupancy are issued. Okay.
Question?
Yep.
We do the certificate of occupancy or the county?
The county does the inspection and they issue the certificate after, well, they pay us and then we call the county to schedule the inspection.
So this last bullet point is county, that's a county
Yes,
function.
they do the inspection and actually issue the certificate. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. So I tried to draw a timeline for all this, and I will tell you, these timelines are not, you'll see that they're very fast. And I think that these timelines draw out a little bit longer than what you're going to read, but this is what is published that the timelines are supposed to be. So we want to look at, in the pre-planning and research area of building a home, I compared Twin Oaks and Manchester. Twin Oaks will basically look at the survey and zoning check concept, and for the architect, that'll probably take 1 to 3 weeks to do that process. The municipal zoning process, we require 18 copies of the development plan, and I think they pay about $100 a copy to have those things printed. Most of the cities now are doing electronic, but I think it is also good to have at least a couple copies here, one for our records and one for any of you that want to take a look at it at home, to check it out and take it home, instead of requiring 18 copies. Before, we had every board member had their own copy, every planning and zoning member had their own copy, and then we had copies that had to go to the county. So, and by the way,
And to BFA too.
I'm not making any recommendations. I'm just giving you information tonight, okay? So that was one big difference that I found between what Twin Oaks is doing and what other municipalities are doing. It was kind of interesting in the Missouri zoning process. Manchester, with their site plan, there was no P&Z standard. Staff basically approved, if it's considered a standard application where it appears as if everything is meeting all the zoning requirements and no variances are required, there was no P&Z required. Staff could go ahead and approve it, and the Board of Aldermen didn't have to approve it either. So it was just basically approved by the staff. Is that correct?
There are a few times where, yes, it doesn't go, but a lot of them go to P&Z because they're not always standard.
Okay.
Let's just put on that.
But for standard applications, it could go through a staff review. And when I say staff review, I'm referring to Twin Oaks, I'm basically talking about BFA. So it wouldn't have to go to BFA, have them look at it, approve it, then send it to planning and zoning, and have planning and zoning look at it, and then have the board look at it as well. Because as you'll see, as we go down, no public hearings are required for standard applications. So if you look at Twin Oaks, by the time we get done, it should take probably 20 to 35 weeks, I would say, realistically. This says 10 to 20. And Manchester, I'm assuming it doesn't take 14. It takes a little bit more than that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's, if you look at how much time is going on up there.
Yeah. So the two big things that I came away with after looking at all this information was there were two things that stood out to me. One was how many copies we're requiring of the architect and the homeowner. And number two, do we really have, because every public hearing that we have is 15 days notice. So that's really extending the amount of time of this process. So for standard applications that meet all of the city standards and codes, we could say those don't have to go to P&Z or to board. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, something for you to think about. I think there are some ways that we can reduce this if we take a couple of pretty quick and easy actions.
Russ, I really appreciate all the research you did. It was a lot, and I spent a fair amount of time reading through all of it. And if there's low-hanging fruit that we can do to make it more efficient, great. But reality is we aren't building too much around here anymore.
No.
Because I don't know where we're going to put it.
And that's why. And if you see it, you look at all of the cities. We're certainly not the longest, and we're certainly not the shortest.
And there doesn't appear to be anything onerous.
Well, I thought the 18 copies was pretty outrageous.
But it probably wasn't when we put it in the code,
No.
right?
I think that was a P&Z preference
Right.
at that time, and I'm
Right.
not sure how the committee feels about it now, but they felt strongly, I was on P&Z back then, they felt very strongly that everyone needed to have their own hard copy to
Yeah.
take home and really study and look over. So I think that was one of the things that drove up the number
Depending on
of
the
copies.
demographics of our P&Z committee, that may still be the case.
That may still be the case. Yes, I don't know.
Well, I think, when you say, well, it sounds like that's an easy thing to do to give everybody their own copy. That one copy is multiple architectural drawings.
Right. It's a big thing.
And it's $100 per person.
Unless your builder is providing them for you, which some.
Yeah.
On that duration of
Probably,
that
yes.
10 to 20
Some of them are
weeks,
not,
it's like,
yes.
a lot of that is driven by how fast. Okay, so Site plan,
Let me say one other
Okay.
thing before you,
Okay.
The one thing that's most important in this whole process is that the builder and the architect has met all of the requirements day one. Because
good point.
because when they come up with their permit application and their information, if they haven't checked all the boxes on all the stuff that we require, that sets them back another 2 weeks. Our permit process doesn't really start until we get the required documents. Not
Right.
from the time they want to apply. So did that cover what you wanted to say?
Yeah, because basically that was it. I mean, it's drawn out because people don't get the plans right. They don't read our code and they just submit stuff. But and by that, I'm just saying that's in general, because since I've been there's been approximately 0 of these site plans for residential. They've all been commercial. And so, I don't know how fast it would be, but if somebody did it right, read the code and turned in a good set of plans, and they turned it in right before the P&Z was getting ready to have their regular meeting, you could get on that agenda. Then if you knew that was also going to go to a board meeting later that month, you would already have published that public hearing, if it even requires that for there, and then you could have it on that agenda. So in theory, it could be done in 30 to 45 days all the way through. So a lot of that is driven by the fact that they turn in stuff that's just like, nobody reads the code. They don't fill it. They don't check the boxes. They don't do the stuff.
And the other thing is, when they don't do that, it takes them time to turn it around and bring it back again.
Absolutely.
It's delays are almost always on behalf of the requester, because we have no motivation to delay. None. And it's not like we're overwhelmed with work.
Yeah.
For the planning and zoning
And
commission.
we're very specific. We even have a checklist.
Right.
It says, this is what you have to have. And I can't tell you how many times they show up,
I do have it.
and there's
here.
5 or 6 things in that checklist that aren't in there.
So this is what I send to them right when they ask. So it's late, and this is something that existed before me. I didn't put this together. So step 1, step 2, it's very straightforward and has a nice checklist of exactly what that they need. Tells them exactly all the information that they need. But Paul's right; it's
And-
more often than not.
The reason I want to get the process right, as good as we can, is because we can't just think we only have 1 or 2 lots available for people to build on. There's going to be some rebuilding. You look at Old Town, there's going to be some rebuilding over there. So down the road, this could be more important than it is right now.
Do you have a feel for the interaction with St. Louis County? Is that a timely thing, or is that, I mean, we haven't done a lot. As Paul would
They generally turn around fairly quickly.
do they?
Yeah.
And are, like, is Twin Oaks assigned one guy that's the contact for the application?
No.
It goes through a lot of hands at the county.
But
Yeah.
the
And
same
they've
thing
done-
goes there. What they turn into the county dictates how fast the county gets
Right.
it done.
Yeah.
If the county's having to bug them for, where's this? We need this. Where's it? Then they don't chase them. They're just going to be like, well, as soon as you get it to me, we'll look at it.
Mhm.
And it's seasonal. How many applications is the county getting at this particular time? They've done some reorganizations where this review may come under a whole different department now. We've seen that with code enforcement. They have a budget shortfall, and staffing is they're not staffed to the levels they're supposed to be staffed to. So that all comes into play.
Is
But
there-
regardless, with the site development plan process, even if we didn't have it at all, they still have to go through the county for a building permit because we don't have staff to do those reviews. Sorry.
Number one thing, which we're not really in control of, is get your information right the first time. That will move the process forward as
is
quickly as possible.
Is there an opportunity, or can there be an opportunity for the Board of Adjustment to precede that. I guess what I'm asking for is, if somebody submits a plan and they know they've done all their research, we had it, we knew that we were going to be asking for some things, but we had to submit our plans. Then we got rejected, then we had to go to Board of Adjustment. But if you know that up front, is there an opportunity to come before the Board of Adjustment to plead your case so that you don't have that wasted time of going back and redoing?
That's a Paul question.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Twin Oaks would, and always has been, certainly with what I've seen with the commercial developers who are always pretend to be in a hurry. And so, yeah, I mean, what we would do is say, okay, we can already see that you're going to have an issue. So get that in, we have to reject it, but we'll already go ahead and advertise for, the second we get it, we'll be ready to get, and then you could have that going. And then in a sense, be ready to go for a P&Z meeting, assuming it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, then you just might not have the P&Z meeting because you might have to go redo your plans. But you can always work those things together. And it's like, we tell people, this is the date of the P&Z meeting. So you need to get it in, at least a week before that, or else you're going to miss that cycle. And so we try to work with everybody to let them hit all the deadlines on time. Whether they listen to us or not, it's always another.
Can you talk a little bit about Board of Adjustment, though? I'm under the understanding that in order to get a variance, you have to prove that you have a hardship of some sort. Is that correct?
Well,
In order to get said variance, instead of I just prefer this material
Right.
that you don't allow in Twin Oaks.
technically,
So,
it's a practical difficulty, but yes,
practical difficulty.
you
Okay,
have
yeah.
to be able to. It is not the Board of Adjustment is supposed to make findings of fact and conclusions that you are in a situation where, but for the variance, you pretty much can't build on your lot.
Mhm.
The fact that you want to vary some kind of
Building material,
Yeah,
for
building
example, that you
material.
like better and
Yeah,
is not allowed
I
in
mean,
Twin Oaks.
because you could obviously build it differently, and you could say, but right now that's going to cost $87,000 more dollars. Technically, the board's not supposed to look at finances because those are individual and not. It's supposed to have something to do with the property itself. I have, it falls off in the back, and there's no way that I can put the house back there. It needs to be moved up to the front, so I need to encroach in the front setbacks and not build in the back.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing it's supposed to be set for. The general rules are out there. Here's what the city says. Our setbacks are, 8 on the side, and I'm making these up because I can't remember, but 20 in the front, 35 in the back, whatever. And that fits every lot. Well, it doesn't fit every lot because lots are different. And so then they can come in and say, well, but on my lot, that means this. It'd be better if I could slide my house over here because that would make it better for all my neighbors. And that's when the board can say, I see, yeah, you have a difficulty that most people don't have to comply with our code. And they can make that finding. But
Generally, what I've been asked for is taste differences, and they would like to come in front of the Board of Adjustment for a variance because the material choice that they picked or whatever for their siding is not allowed in Twin Oaks, or something that doesn't fit the urban design guidelines, and they want to do something different. So my response has been, well, that doesn't really is not
Yeah.
something that Board of Adjustment would consider as a variance because that's not something that is a practical difficulty. You could build your house using approved materials or that fits to the urban design guidelines.
and they'd be better suited to come and do like tonight and ask the board to change the
Right.
standards.
But they would need to do that ahead of
Right,
time.
but it'd
like
be
now,
better to
before
say-
they submitted their development plan.
Right, and have this
Right.
kind of discussion about whether,
And
by
those
the
things take
legislative
time.
body makes that decision, not the
Right.
Board of Adjustment.
Right.
What is the reasoning behind the public hearing portion?
In general or here?
Here,
I don't know, because that goes way back. My guess is it goes hand in hand with pretty much everything that Twin Oaks always does, which is we let everybody have a say in what it is. I mean, the problem with some of those public hearings is that somebody could submit something that meets all your plans, and everybody just screams they don't like it, but and then it puts the board in a position of not being able to say no, even though everybody's screaming about it, because it's like, but it meets all the criteria. So sometimes those public hearings can cause
There are some instances where
unneeded.
we have to do,
turmoil.
but is that more commercial where we have to notify people by mail that live close, but that's commercial.
Usually
right?
commercial, because our commercial code, we have site-specific zoning within the commercial district that says, and this is very similar to exactly what the county does in their C8 zoning. It's actually a new zoning of the property, and it's for that setup. So like Schnucks is the way it is, and this whole thing is laid out. When the city wanted to put this here, this building on this lot, we had to amend the whole site plan here, development plan here, to allow this, because originally it was approved for a bank. And so, and it was a different layout and all that stuff. So same thing with that Regions Bank. That was supposed to be a gas station or something 100 years ago.
Mhm.
They had to come in and petition the city to change the development zoning around this to change that use. So that's why we do it there.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I think that, to answer your question, I think it was just Twin Oaks saying, we want to let everybody have a say, or at least have a chance to know what people are doing.
Mhm.
And I think in this modern day and age, I think you could still do that without having to go through. There is no state law that requires a site plan to have a development. I mean, a public hearing.
I think that's what lots of municipalities are going through with data centers now, where the public hearings are huge.
Well, for that, yeah. Something like that, you have to have them.
And if
But
someone
for
wants to
a
live in a
resi-
data center,
but for a
and you're not in
residential
your town,
house-
you need to have a public hearing about it.
I mean, we know what people are doing, right? Because it's in the code, so.
Yeah. It's a standard application. So anyway, food for thought.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Attorney's report.
I have reported enough tonight,
Okay.
so I'm done.
Public Works, Jake?
There it is. Oh, yeah. We have a demonstration tonight. Just for the public works. No.
Don't break the key off.
Yeah, don't break it.
Are we allowed to bring our bollards to the meeting? I didn't know.
Jake is.
All right, how's it going, guys? Public Works maintenance updates. We at the Bell House, we took down the deck. That we're lucky that it never fell down on us, because it wasn't even anchored down in any shape or form. So much better now that it's down. I met with a guy to do the cameras down in the park, in the Bell House once we have Wi-Fi and everything. The meeting went good. Me and John actually met up with him. A lot of the stuff we can actually reuse, which is good. Bring the cost down a little bit, but he's got some ideas and he's going to send me a bid over for that. We landscaped over there at the Bell House too, added some trees and bushes. Looks a lot better
Looks
now.
good.
And freshened it up and made it look more like how we have decorated, landscaped around here and down the park. And everything. We weeded up here at City Hall. We put some crane down for some preventive maintenance up here at City Hall, and we did also do down there at the intersection. Tons of weeds from down there, and craned it. Hopefully they take it easy on us this year a little bit. We did add a radar sign, a new one over on Big Bend too. Tell when you pull out of Foley. Just picking up people here on Big Bend. Haven't got any.
And those are the temporary ones. So if you remember, we got 2 of our old ones refreshed so that we could move
Yeah.
them around the city, which has been nice to be able to have them in kind of different locations just to kind of,
I thought Big Bend was kind of out of our jurisdiction.
well, not if our police officer says that we can do some temporary traffic monitoring there. It is not.
Got it.
I had on here, we fixed the pothole over here. I guess that was at the beginning of this month. Merrimack Station towards the library, we did get that one. I know you said something about another one down there.
Yeah.
but
I put in a request.
I still need to do that.
Yeah.
Then I have this example of the carbon steel bollard for down in the park. We're planning on doing this in front of where the basketball court is down there.
So to
Yeah.
replace those orange barricades as part of, if we consider an overlay project down in the park, an asphalt overlay project, the company can install these retractable ballards
So these things
so
are
that we would have something a little bit
kinda
more.
heavy, but they're nice.
So that would be flush, the top is flush with the pavement, and these are all down in the ground. And we would have a line of them between the, where the current disabled parking is and the actual start of the court.
So as soon as you unlock it, it actually catches right here, and you can't bring it up until you have a key, and you can bring it up. 36. Oh, it is locked now.
Yeah, they lock in place. You
Yeah.
have to have the key to unlock them. So they would stay up most of the time, but we would have the ability to move them down. If the fire department needed to get down there with the truck or whatever, we could give them a key so that they had access. And we would also hopefully replace the gate that is on the pedestrian path so that we would have 2 of these bollards in place instead, which would be a lot better for strollers to navigate, wouldn't have to go around the gate. It'd be easier for Jake and Isaiah as they're coming in and out, you know, to be able to use that. So,
And the spacing was about 5 feet, isn't it?
yeah, I think we were going to do them every 5 feet. So it would be 12 along the edge of the court between the basketball court and the disabled parking, and then 2 at the park path entrance.
We're thinking they'd be yellow, probably also just for visibility. Black
Probably for
blend in a
visibility,
little
yes.
bit
They
better,
can
but-
be black, but we've had recommendations from safety people that are around traffic all the time to go ahead and keep them yellow so that they'd be very visible for people. And that would keep people from, you know, the issues that we had been having with parking when there's no staff down there, people parking on the basketball court, that sort of thing. So it's an option for us to consider, maybe something that we'll be looking at that I'll bring to the board in the future if we want to move ahead with this as part of an amended capital budget later this year. But we wanted you to see them so you had an idea of what we were talking about.
Let's see, upcoming projects. So for the volleyball court, we rented a little skid steer. We got 28 yards of topsoil, and we spread that all over, kind of level it all out. I was contemplating in April about getting that area hydro seeded versus doing like sod or just seed and straw. I think we're leaning towards the sod route, and so to get it hydro seeded was like $1,700, and I started looking to sod, and sod ended up being delivered. It was $1,200, and then Isaiah and I can install it. So I think that's the route we're kind of going. If we just seed it and straw it, I think it's just gonna have stuff blown, you know, the straw will be blown around, and it's gonna take a while to get everything set in. But before we do that, I talked with the irrigation company, and they are gonna get us a proposal and for adding a couple sprinkler heads and then adjusting some of them so that whole field can get water, so irrigation. And it is all on the same section, basically.
Has anybody complained about this yet?
About what? The
What we're
removal of the
doing?
volleyball court?
Yeah.
No, not that I've heard. Have you heard anybody in the court? You have? Okay.
I just heard people like kind of talking, what's going on with the volleyball court?
Oh, okay.
That's all I've heard while I'm down there.
Okay.
I just don't say that.
I did mention it in the first issue of the Acorn, if you got that today, so people would understand why the decision was made to remove it, so.
So as long as you guys are good with the sod, I can get that ordered and have them deliver it after we get the irrigation thing set up. And for the irrigation, it was about $1,100 is what they said to do that one. And then also, what was the last little project? We've been talking about doing trees down there in the intersection for Twin Oaks, of course. I talked to Site One, they can actually get 4-inch trees that are chinkapin oaks, and they're about $600 a piece. And we could plant those basically in the intersection in front of kind of the church. on that side.
We're talking about the big triangle between here and the church to put 2 oak trees for Twin Oaks, which it's been some months since we first talked about that idea. So
Yeah,
that's
and there's, of
Jake's
course,
circling back around to that.
They're slow growers, but it's something we can do at some point if you guys wanna do
Does that obstruct vision on the
Just-
ramp?
We talked about getting them tall enough so that they would be a more mature tree and it wouldn't, I think,
These
how
should
tall did you
start
say
out
these are gonna be?
probably 14 to 18 feet, somewhere in there. And they're pretty good size on them. They're probably, I would think, the age exactly, I don't know.
Yeah, every time we plant in that area, we always get complaints, no matter what it is, that it's obstructing that somebody's gonna have an accident because of what we're doing.
They'd be inside the sidewalk though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's still
on the
pretty
church
good.
side of this.
It would be in the triangle between the
triangle.
ramps. So you know that
Oh,
the
yeah.
the triangles are very big, like especially that one on the church side is the biggest one. We used to do the little low sweet potato, whatever, coleus and stuff in there. But since we're not doing that anymore, we were thinking to demarcate Twin Oaks with 2 Twin Oaks. So
How big do they get?
Those things will get real big. But it'll
Yeah.
take.
I'm thinking about
2
leaves.
years or
What about acorns?
yeah,
Acorns and leaves?
And roots.
it's a big area. I mean, we've got
Yeah.
room for the 2 trees to live and thrive there. But I can put together some renderings and we'll see. I can probably do like I did for the intersection, kind of a 3D,
Yeah.
so that you guys
Yeah.
can get a sense of what it would look like and how tall they would be.
Yeah.
So we'll do that for the next meeting.
Okay,
that's all I have.
that's it.
Thanks, Jake.
City administrators report.
Okay. So I'll do kind of a short report because I want Paula to be able to talk a little bit about her new clerks training institute thing that she went on. So a couple of events that we've gotten scheduled recently. We're going to do the bulk trash pickup weekend on the 28th and 29th. So similar to the way that we did yard waste pickup, but this one will be for bulk trash items, furniture, that sort of thing. No appliances, no electronics or anything like that, but no paint. But we will have that. The dumpsters out in the same locations that we had for the yard waste. So hopefully that'll help be convenient for some people to do some spring cleaning. If anyone is interested, I did talk with Manchester about whether I could promote their e-recycling event. So if you do have electronics that you need to get rid of, and they graciously said that I could promote that to our residents, which was very nice because those are very, very busy. And we don't have a place to be able to host one here because of the traffic that they bring. So there will be one at Schrader Park on March 21st. So that information is up on their website. It's like 8 to 11 and they run out of capacity really quickly. So if you want to recycle something, I would recommend getting there very, very early this
What
weekend.
date was that?
March 21st. It's this
21st.
weekend coming up. So, but I did send that out in the newsletter as well. So hopefully those of you who got signed up for the newsletter saw that. That was kind of our inaugural. It had a lot of information in it, but that's kind of the plan for the newsletter is to maybe get that out quarterly. We're hoping. We'll see how it goes. And then have a lot of information about upcoming events in the next few months and things that are relevant. So let's see. The other thing that I have, we'll have some insurance proposals coming in soon. That we have one that's been recommended by our broker. It's going to come with a few little caveats. So they want us to do some training, some formal training for our Planning and Zoning Commission before they can continue to serve. And then we would like the board to also go through that training. So something that Paul can do for us, which is great. So I think that'll be really nice and something we'll have coming up for our planning and zoning members as part of our new insurance proposal.
Are you a recognized professor
Yeah.
by the insurance company?
I have definitely been an adjunct professor at St. Louis U of Law.
Okay.
I don't have any big project updates, so I'm going to turn it over to Paula and let her talk about going to the new Clerks Institute at MCCCFOA. Yeah, whatever it is. Go ahead, Paula.
Yes. I was able to take the opportunity to go down for the Spring Institute for the MCCFOA.
Yeah.
I finally learned how to say that.
Good.
And this was for, it was an all day on Monday, and the first part of it was on Sunshine Law, which really the biggest thing that it took out of it was the fact that it's always changing, so you need to really keep up with that. And records retention. And the challenge of keeping up with the records that we have, knowing what we need to keep, and what we can get rid of. That one was wonderfully presented. And then the new clerks, nuts and bolts was in the afternoon. And we had two great clerks. One was from Maryland Heights, the other one was from Frontenac, and they've done it for years, so they really got everybody engaged. And through shared experiences and some practical stuff, we really learned a lot because it really kind of drives home why we do what we do and where our limitations are and the practical applications of. So it was just a really great experience, great networking, and I'm looking forward to next year.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for me about anything? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Alderman comments. We'll start with Joe.
Okay, I got a couple.
I know you're chomping at the bit over there.
The minor one, I'm gonna be the angry man, is that I got a complaint today about the kids on bikes. The e-bikes,
What was the complaint?
that they were down there all day racing around. That was pretty much the extent of the complaint.
Just that they were on bikes? Because the ones I saw were not motorized, they were electric bikes. but
They were the e-bikes, yeah,
E-bikes.
right.
Are those allowed?
Yes.
But these are also what I saw when I was down there, not the bikes. They're kind of destructive. These kids are like trying to shake the fish feeder off the.
Yeah, I didn't see them. I did see them down there too, and I could see them probably getting a little rambunctious. They're driving pretty fast, honestly. I mean, I know it's a bike, but
It is a
still
public park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no parental oversight.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Mhm.
So as far as a police response, we're limited in what we can do on it. But yeah,
Can they outrun you on the bike?
me, no.
Lightning fast.
But yeah, we did notice them.
Yeah.
We were working with what we can.
I just
Do
wanted to bring it up.
we allow skateboarding on the park paths?
As far as I know.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything
No.
expressly.
Skating?
Just not
It's
motorized.
not motorized,
Yeah,
but as long as they're on
But
the
we-
park pad.
yeah,
it doesn't-
Unless it's a motorized wheelchair.
right.
But the paths aren't wide enough to get out of the way quickly. If a kid's coming at you, there's no place to go in some instances, so. It is a safety concern, I would think.
They run over a goose or two.
That might help us.
Anyway, so really the more, what I consider the more serious item to talk about is I was stopped by a resident on Golden Oak this afternoon, just before coming up here. And he asked me if he could register an informal complaint. Sure, no problem. He said that, he tries to keep his property looking nice, but he's wondering why the city is asking him to landscape his yard. And I said, I don't think the city would ask you to landscape your yard. And he went through some other examples. He said, well, I shouldn't have to be afraid to go out to my mailbox. And he showed me this letter from the Neighborhood Property Standards Review, who I've never heard of. This is the original letter he gave me that I need to return to him. It was in his mailbox, no envelope. So somebody placed this in his mailbox. Because I asked for the envelope,
Gotta be a neighbor, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things in here that are specific,
Oh, yeah.
that it's not somebody randomly going around trying to just like drum up some work.
I don't think the city would ever use the language,
They wouldn't
fix
use the
your
language
horrendous issues either.
It would have the letterhead on it. That's what I explained to him. I said, I don't think this came from us. But I told him I would ask and find out. I've confirmed we did not send this. There are other neighbors besides him that has also received letters like this. I'm going to ask, I'm gonna go canvass Golden Oak to find out how widespread this is.
Roger, has anybody in the condos that you're aware of?
Yes,
It's gotta be.
the reason he's doing his fence is because of a letter like this.
I was wondering why
Yeah.
he's always worried to go to, like, we don't sit and stuff
Right.
like that.
Mm-mm.
I wonder why he kept saying that.
Do we need to send out an email blast saying,
I
Addressing
certainly
this.
can. I don't know that that will,
I personally think it should be a letter, because I don't know that this guy, I don't know that he's got an email.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, if we think it's targeted just to Golden Oak, I'm happy to send out a letter to every resident over there just to let them know that, hey, if the city's going to contact you, it will be on city letterhead. It will not.
it's horrible if people are spending thousands of dollars
Yeah.
that they don't.
And that is the case here,
Yeah, that's,
based on this letter.
It's a shame. And whoever's doing it should get us cease and desist.
is this illegal?
No, I mean, I think people have a First Amendment right to send a letter saying, fix up your property.
Claiming to be,
An HOA.
It says neighborhood property standards review.
That's all it says.
They clearly think of themselves as having done a property standards review and sent it out. So, I mean, it's not good, and if it used the city's name or something like that, I would be more concerned about it. But I still don't like it. I just don't think that. I think the city just needs to do some education to say we wouldn't ever do this.
Sounds like an idea somebody got off the internet. They probably went in there and said, how can I deal with a neighbor, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, right.
Almost all of
So
them.
I'll report back.
Almost all of them are bad.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
gotta
let
find
us
out.
know if it's widespread and who I need to send notification to say, hey, this was not us.
You gonna go to the Dresners?
I think I will.
Yeah, do them all.
I will. Yeah.
Video the interview, would you?
I might.
Is that it?
That's it.
Tim?
No, sir.
Jim?
yeah, last week in the park, I saw two different people shaking the fish food dispenser because they weren't either operating it correctly or it wasn't operating. I think the fish food dispenser is a lovely idea. I think it's going to end poorly. That's all I'm saying. I saw two people, and they were both parents with small children, shaking the heck out of it because they couldn't get the quarter to work or whatever.
They put their quarter in, they couldn't get the food out.
Or they didn't realize they had to put a quarter. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, if mothers are doing that, I think it's only a matter of time before one of these kids on an electric bike does something worse. But it's costing me money because I have my own supply of fish food, but now because it's cool to use the machine, I have to bring quarters to the park for the 4-year-old person that I hang out with. But I'm just, I hope it works out, but there may be bad times coming for the fish food dispenser. That's all.
Okay. All right. Any final citizen comments? If not, take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Meeting adjourned.